Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back, knights. It is January 17th, 2016, and we have been farming the Hall of Heroes for the Light Death Knight. This guy is a very uncommon monster, and let's just see. So if you haven't got him yet, today's the last day you can get him. And if you're thinking about not getting him, I would recommend getting at least one. It's a light monster, super rare, and it's not hard to get. I've got him with my alt account that is only level 32 already, and that was easy. I got it in the first day. And I don't know if I have no way to prove this, but I think the drop rates for the pieces are better on the last day. So today's way easier to get it than on Friday when it started. I have no way to prove that, but I mean, I got very few drops on Friday, and today it's like every drop on level 1 where you're not guaranteed a piece, you're getting one, let's say 4 out of 5 times. Yeah, so that's the way to do it. Let's have a look at him and check out his skills. Okay, collection. We'll go into light monsters here. Wherever my mouse may be. Here it is. Scroll down to the Light Death Knight. Might sound like a contradiction. Look at this guy. I just got to show you something real quick. Look how close. This guy reminds me of Tyrael from the Diablo series. I've got them up side by side right now. Look at that. It's the same white hood with the spiked armor. So maybe he's not a Death Knight. He's maybe an angel of some kind, but it all depends on whatever. But look at that art. I'm just saying maybe that's the influence. I don't know. Anyway, so let's talk about Conrad.
Hey, what did I tell you about talking behind my back?
But you're facing me. Oh, everybody, well, special guest Poseidon, not the Sea Emperor, but Conrad, my good buddy from college and also founding Carbon Knights member. So, Conrad.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Are you excited that you're in Summoner's War and that you're in the Hall of Heroes and everybody's farming you? How does it feel to be famous?
Well, you gotta keep the little people in mind when you get as famous as I just became.
Oh, the little people. Way to go. So, anyways, usually it's shields up, swords out, guys, but this guy, the Death Knights, has a kick-ass mace. So mace is up, shields up, right?
That's right.
Absolutely. Conrad, have you taken a look at your character in this game and see how badass he looks?
Well, I think I'm level 8, so...
You can still look at him.
But I'm looking at him on the wiki, if that's what you mean.
Oh, yeah. So you're not going to farm this guy, you're saying?
I don't think I got the cojones to do it this weekend.
Probably not at level 8. 32, no problem, but, you know, level 8, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about your character in the game. I've always wanted this guy.
I'm sure it's mine.
I'm sure it's based right after you, 100%.
It must be.
I've always kind of wanted this monster because he's got a skill like no other monster in the game, where his third skill, it's called Trade, attacks an enemy, revives one ally monster with 30% HP. If the enemy is eliminated by this attack and there is no revivable ally on the field, all allies will receive a damage-absorbing shield. So, cool. Yeah, it's very cool. No other reviver has an attack-based revive, where if you kill an enemy, you resurrect one of your own. Very unique. It's people, and here's what I kind of wanted to get into: is people have always badmouthed Conrad. Not you, but your avatar.
Well, I mean, there are people out there who badmouth Conrad, believe me.
But I mean, that's been the general consensus: is this guy is the worst Death Knight, or even one of the worst revivers. And I have noticed that now that the Hall of Heroes dungeon is open, everybody thinks he's the greatest monster ever. Now that they can have him, right? And
I know it actually has nothing to do with me. That makes me feel really good. I'm not even lying. That's awesome.
Awesome. No, like people have been talking, if you've checked out some other videos, I know I'm kind of late to the game. On the last day of the Hall of Heroes, I'm making a video, but that's because by now you've probably already got him and you've been able to maybe use him a little bit if you had some runes lying around. But here's what's cool about Conrad. He is an attack-based Death Knight. All the other Death Knights are kind of designed to be HP tanks or defense tanks, if you can add some defense to them. All of them. There's Fedora, the water, Arnold, the fire, Brian, the wind, and Diaz, the dark. And they're all, you know, this guy's second skill actually, also does damage proportionate to your max HP. But your last skill is an attack based on attack power, but that last skill hits so hard that is a one-shot kill attack. Now, people really didn't understand how strong
it's a one-shot kill attack and it revives?
It doesn't automatically kill. What I'm saying is it's so powerful for a single target attack. It's not a guaranteed kill.
Gotcha.
So if you ruin this Death Knight...
It can be.
It can be, absolutely. Usually it's going to be, right? If you ruin him with good runes.
That's cool.
And that's going to be Conrad's role, is you're going to need to bring a... Well, let's go from the start. So, Deadly Blow, unleash a fatal blow on an enemy and disturb their target HP recover for 2 turns. That's every Death Knight's first skill. The second was Deadly Wave, inflicts damage proportionate to your HP to all enemies, weakens their attack power. That's not all... They don't all have that one, but most of them do. Brian does, I think Arnold does, Fedora and Diaz don't, I think, if I'm getting that right. Anyways, so, and then that third skill is based straight on attack. And luckily, Conrad is an attack monster. Com2S didn't make him a defense monster that you have to rune for attack. They kind of... Whatever. The point is that he hits so hard with attack
Conrads
runes.
are not well known for their defense.
That's funny. That's why. Another reason I'm sure they had you in mind when they didn't make Conrad a defense monster.
Yep.
But yeah, no, he's he's probably your best bet to use this guy is in guild battles or arena attack, because that third skill is you have a defense break on the enemy and you use his third attack with a lot of attack. Try to get about 2,000 attack level or points on him, I guess. You're talking like 30k damage with a critical hit. I mean, a lot of monsters are gonna fall. It's a lot, and that really depends on your runes. Some people won't be able to get his attack up to 2,000. A lot will. It just depends what you get. But the reason he's so good for guild battles and not maybe for dungeons is because you're attack-based monster, and he will be good for raids and dungeons and stuff if you put him on the back lines. But he's really going to shine in arena and guild battles, because killing your enemy and reviving one of yours, that means you can bring a squishier nuker like Lucian or Seek or something like that. We're going to see... This guy is going to change guild battles in the arena now that everybody, or not everybody, but so many of the majority of monsters, players are going to have this monster. You're going to see different teams being built for defense based on this guy alone. More revivers, I think, are going to show up on arena defense, even though there's already a good amount. You're going to see more, I think, because you're going to need to bring back your monsters after this nuker just keeps, doubling his advantage by taking one of your monsters and giving back one of theirs. That's -1 for them, +1 for you. It comes up to 2. I mean, you're going to need revivers to bring your stuff back. The only way his skill could get better is if that any monster killed by this attack could not be revived, similar to the Dark Amazon or the Dark Cowgirl. That's the only... That would make this monster a game changer, like one of the best arena or guild battle monsters. But that doesn't do that, so fortunately or unfortunately, he's not going to be overpowered. But he is going to be good. Anyone that says Conrad's not good can suck it.
Yeah, all you follow... Oh, excuse me. All you follow Let's Play haters.
Speaking of sucking it, it sounded like that's what you're doing. What's going on over there?
I don't know. I had to try to choke myself with my own spit, I guess. I don't know what happened there.
Nice. That's my favorite pastime.
Professionalism. That's what we go for on this channel.
So let's just compare his third skill to... I'll just do the third skills because the first and second skills on most Death Knights are so similar. Let's go look at the Dark One, Diaz, who was also a Hall of Heroes monster quite a while ago. But I did manage to farm him. I've actually never used him because I didn't find him that useful. I had the Light Vagabond, which had the same passive skill of damage reduction. But now that there's raids, because Diaz Hall of Heroes came out months before the raids were introduced into the game, Diaz's third skill is that passive we just kind of talked, that decreases chance of receiving critical hit for your whole team, That's awesome for raids. And reduce the damage that other allies receive by 15%. Same as the Light Vagabond, right? So that's awesome.
Yep.
Now, I have to build Diaz because of raids, but I'm building Colleen first. The Fire Harpoo, who is a 2-star monster that you guys should definitely build. Now let's look at Bryant, who is my latest level 40 max star monster. His 3rd skill, also a revive. It's different than Conrad's though, because it's just a... You can use it whenever you want, as soon as a monster dies. The difference being, Conrad's skill is reusable in 5 turns, Brian's skill is reusable in 8 turns. So Conrad's skill is reusable way more than Brian's, and even if you don't have a dead monster, then you get that damage absorbing shield that will defend your team. So you don't even have to use Conrad as just a reviver. Bring him in as a nuker and a shield maker. I mean, something that hits hard and defends your team at the same time. I don't know why people were saying that Conrad was no good way back when. I think it was a jealousy thing because nobody could get him. I mean, he was so rare.
It could be.
Or
maybe, it could have been maybe because nobody had him. Maybe just no one built him the right way or whatever. They didn't rune him right or whatever.
Probably. Like I said, I should have. That's another thing I should have been going over. So we can look real quick. Network connection delayed. What else is new? So Diaz, the Dark Death Knight, is I don't have to look at the awakened form. He's a defense monster. Bryant, the wind one, is an HP monster. I don't even need to bring it up because I know that, but there he is. Fedora, the water Death Knight, is a... Come on, load. A support monster, which, I mean, since his 2nd skill is an AoE and attack based on your max HP, people rune him for HP to keep him alive, and then use his shield for keeping your monsters alive. It's different than Conrad's because it just keeps their HP above 1. It doesn't give them a damage absorbing shield. Oops, I already looked at that. And Arnold, who is a very good arena defense monster, and he hits so hard. He's a HP fire tank. With his 3rd skill, drains life from the target enemy. The stolen HP is equivalent to 30% of your max HP, and he's an HP monster. So we see Conrad being the only attack monster, and with he being so rare, people that would get him, there's a good chance that people that did get him were newer, unexperienced players, and Conrad is probably right about Conrad that they didn't rune him properly with attack runes, because he's an attack monster. Everyone knows that the Death Knights are HP tanks, but Conrad is not. Conrad's a hard hitter, and it's hard to think of him that way. It really is. It challenges your paradigm.
He's got the bomb hands, is what you're saying.
Exactly. Well, the bomb mace. His mace hits hard. Sorry, I hate to do this, but I got to check my magic shop here for... Oh, wow, that's a really good rune. 5-star. I don't need it. It's an endure rune, and I don't think I have the mana to buy it anyway, do I? Oh, no, I don't. I'm 40 short. So, anyways, I always check for mystical scrolls. But what I want to do on the way out here, guys...
Oh, yeah, you have to.
You have to. You have to. Is show you guys. So, there's level 1, 2, 3 in the Hall of Heroes. Level 1 is not guaranteed to give you any. You need 50 pieces. It's not guaranteed to drop you any on level 1. I've been having great luck today on the last day with my lower level accounts. Level 2 gets a little bit harder, and I have been able to manage a team that is 100% victorious. I should say 95 to 99% victorious on auto in the 3rd level. I use Vertiheel as the speed leader to get more turns. I bring Bryant for revives because the mini boss halfway to the end is going to be very tough for you guys with his archer towers, his dark elven archers. I bring Basalt for damage as well as a defense buff. So if you don't have... I'll go over that after. And I bring Anavel for cleanse because there's a lot of debuffs going on. And I bring Bella for removing buffs from the enemies because they get a lot on the Fedora levels, as well as the mini boss. And I go from there. Now, look at this team, guys. If you don't have Vertiheel because he's not farmable, you could use Bernard to get more turns, or Wayne if you have max level Wayne, or or if you're doing level 2, you could, if he's only 5-star, you could use Wayne to give yourself some speed buff. If you don't have Brian, you can use Michelle or any other reviver, even Tion if he's ruined properly. If you don't have Basalt, I use him for the defense buff. You could bring Shannon. She is farmable, and she has defense buff as well as attack buff and damage or slow AoE. If you don't have Annabelle, and a lot of you won't because she's a natural 5-star, she's my cleanser, you could bring Konamiya. Completely farmable. Everybody should have a Konamiya anyway. And Belladion is, again, farmable. So if you don't have a Belladion, bring it's tough for me to recommend another one. The Fire Harpoo actually is not as good, but at least it's another cleanse healer, right? And I like Belladion because he attacks so much. He's got revenge runes and he does the defense break, and so does Annabelle. But you know, that's kind of what you need for the team. So my leader is for more turns. I have a reviver, a defense buffer, a cleanser, and another healer or defense breaker. Though that's kind of what I've seen other people that are winning. They're bringing a similar team with those elements. So we can go ahead and fight, and I'll let this one play out, and I'll give the floor to Conrad to talk a little more about Conrad. Have you seen him on the wiki there? What do you think about his look?
Yeah, he looks really cool.
The Death Knights I
love the way he looks.
The Death Knights are some of my favorite monsters. And actually, this week, last week I should say, just a few days ago, Com2uS released the Transmogrification pack, and the Death Knights are part of that as well. So if you don't like his look, because you're weird or whatever, you can get a whole new look out of him. And he looks, I don't know what his
Maybe you just don't like awesome stuff.
Maybe you just don't like awesome stuff. His new look, I think, is awful. But that's just me. You guys might think it's super cool. He looks like some sort of ritualistic, half contorted armored demon thing. He looks awful with some sort of, I don't know, some sort of Cyclops with poorly made armor that's asymmetrical. I didn't like any of the new looks for the Transmogrification pack, so I'm not even going there. You know what? The only one I did get the one for the Inugamis, and I took them off. I just liked they don't fit into the game. That I know Com2uS is trying to go for a futuristic robot-y style, but there is no robots in this game. It just didn't feel right. It didn't look good, so I turned it off. Whatever.
Yeah.
So as you can see, so go ahead.
I would imagine it's like any art, right? People are either they love it or they hate it. There's really no in between.
Well, that's it. I think some of the monsters that they give the Transmogrification packs for are the oldest monsters in the game, so people get maybe bored of them. So yeah, adding a new skin for them is a good idea, and it's a good way to make money for Com2uS, and it's at least it doesn't doesn't increase stats, like a pay-to-win thing. It's just purely cosmetic. So
yeah.
So as you guys can see, I just want to talk about this stage real quick. I'm not having too much trouble. It's just taking a little while, but I don't have any major damage dealers other than Basalt. So, you could bring Lucian if you had maybe Shannon and you didn't want to bring, or you wanted to bring a damage dealer. Because there's a lot of these monsters, if you can ignore defense, you'll really take a chunk. So, doing that. But what I'm trying to show you is here, we're fighting 3 Bryans and 2 of the water jokers. I forget their name. And a lot of you might struggle with this one because everybody can be revived. Brian's a reviver, and there's 3 revivers, and the water jokers revive themselves. So here's a little trick about fighting Brian that I like to do. Usually when you fight a revive team, see, they're already dead, you try to kill the reviver first. With Brian, I don't like to, because he's kind of on your side in a way with his revive. If you make Brian on the enemy team use revive, he HP rebalances, so everybody on the enemy team sacrifices a bit of HP to revive that monster. So you could just keep killing that monster, and out of the 3 revivers, or maybe 2 if you decide to kill a Brian and not the water joker, he's going to keep bringing down the HP of the entire enemy team to revive. So you don't have to do the damage. Brian will do it for you. All you have to do is focus on one monster, and their enemy Bryans will revive and keep sucking HP out of the team to bring them back. So if you're autoing, if you're autoing, just, and you don't want, you're busy, just click on one of the monsters, make them focus on any one. And if you have Bella like I do, he can seize off the Joker's shield that he brings on himself, so that you can kill him again quickly. and then the next grind will bring him back, and then the next grind will bring him back, and then the team's pretty much dead. So if you're having trouble with that, that's a quick little one. Now that we're on the mini boss, you'll see 2 dark elven archers and the light Horus on as the mini boss. Focus on those archers if you're having trouble with this level. They have an automatic revenge proc built into them, so every time you're attacking, they're attacking back. So the faster you can get rid of one of those and get rid of the second one, the boss becomes way easier. Your healers have more time for the skills to cool down, so that's how I would recommend you do that. And it will only take another 30 seconds before these guys are done. Hopefully that didn't affect the feed there. My screensaver just popped on. Oh, so Conrad, I gotta grease you a little bit. When are you gonna hit level 40 in Summoner's War?
Oh man, I don't know. I barely play games on my phone. That's kind of the well, that's not true. When I'm bored, I end up playing Bejeweled Blitz all the time.
What?
Which is just a stupid little.
Oh,
I know. I don't know why. I just
gross.
play all the time. Usually, it's usually if I'm.
Sorry about that. Everyone had a little technical difficulty. The stream, just my streamer device or program just kind of stopped. But we're back. I was just greasing Conrad about playing Bejeweled Blitz.
My fault.
You know what? That is bad, and you should feel bad. Like, oh, why aren't you playing Summoner's War in the truck?
Oh well, Bejeweled Blitz, you get a game done in a minute, right? And I never know because I'm running errands or whatever. I never know when the people with me are going to be out of the store or whatever. So I don't know if I have 5 minutes or if I have 1 minute or what. So
that's why Summoner's War is so fun to play as a passive game, because in like 1 minute you can clear a farming stage for leveling up your little mons on hell mode. It takes like a minute. So
yeah, that is true. I mean, I guess I should do more, but it really kills the battery. I mean,
really,
it just destroys my phone's battery.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, I guess I could plug it in too.
Sorry guys, I just had to pause the auto here. I see they probably would have been okay, but my healers weren't healing. The AI was kind of fumbling on that. I don't know what the deal is. I've beat this stage so many times. I already have 3 Death Knights farmed, and now when I want to do a video, they just want to be stupid. So
that's that. I'm going to call that the Conrad factor.
Yeah.
Because I'm here, and if you've seen any of my videos, you know that there's just mess ups all over the place.
I don't know. Well, we're good to go now. I made the healers heal, and I got Brian to revive Verd. So I don't know what the deal was there. Whatever. It happens. Anyways, they probably would have been fine. I just noticed, like, all my healers had not used their heals, so whatever. AI can be pretty frustrating.
Crazy.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that's the whole thing. Some guys have talked recently about they want Com2uS to give us the option to lock skills so that when you're autoing, your monsters will only use certain ones. And for example, Vertiheel, my speed leader, his passive is increase your allies' attack bar by, I think it's 20% every time you get a critical hit. It might be 25. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
That guy would work good with Conrad.
Yeah, he would work very good with Con. He works good with everybody. But his first skill hits twice. His second skill only hits once. And you know what? Unless you have him ruined for doing super amounts of attack, which most people don't, he's usually ruined for HP and defense. You want him to hit twice every time. So if you could lock his second skill down, he would be a more useful support monster. And because of such reasons, it's actually a good idea not to skill up Vertiheel, so he uses his second skill less. If that's the way you're building him. If you're building him for a damage dealer, which you can, that's different. But then you don't have to lock it. Keep it unlocked, right? It's something that the idea has been floated around there.
It would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I don't know. Here we are in the boss stage now. I don't really have too much to talk about. If you guys are struggling with the boss stage as well, it could be a simple matter of attack order. I like to go for Diaz first because his passive, remember, it reduces the damage done by you by 15%. So if you can get him out of the way, then you're doing more damage. But I don't really worry about it. I've autoed this so many times that they just kill whoever, so I don't care. But if you guys are having trouble, that's what I would do. What about you, Conrad?
That's a good tip.
Yeah. Any more thoughts about Conrad? What you should do with him when you get him, Conrad?
just looking at the stats, and you know me, I'm not a stat guy in games. I barely know how to play video games half the time. But his awakened stat is for critical rate is 30%. Is it
30? I thought it increased. Oh yeah, once he's awakened, but it increases it by 15%, right?
Yeah, because it is 15%.
Right. Actually, that is a great point. Good catch there. Yeah. So remember, with Conrad the Death Knight being an attack monster and his third skill reviving or shielding your monsters when you get a kill with that skill, you want that attack doing as much damage as possible. So a better crit rate is better for, way better for Conrad. I kept wanting to say Diaz, but no. And you know, the Death Knights are tricky. Lots of people don't worry about awakening them right away because their third skills are all unawakened, and so they prioritize other things. But with Conrad, I really think that 15% crit rate buff just elevates him enough to make you, want to awaken him. You should.
Yeah, because that's 3 out of 10 attacks. You're gonna crit. Which is crazy.
And with crit rate bonuses from your runes, there's the victory. We got the chest, and we got 3 pieces. So that's pretty much it. Almost.
Sorry, I've been playing Final Fantasy lately.
That's funny that you did. It sounds very similar. But yeah, you guys can see I've already farmed 3 of these guys. I'm going to try to farm 2 more today before midnight. Use the scale ups for. I'll use probably. Maybe 1 or 2 on Brian. I'm trying to get his revive maxed out. Other than that, I'm not worried about him. Then I'm going to use the rest actually to awaken Arnold and level him up a bit. Maybe Diaz. I'm not sure. Depends on what. Here's the thing. Before, just to end the video, I will show you my dilemma here. And lots of people have this. My alt has all of them now that you can farm the light one. The light one was so rare. A lot of people had the dark one. So you guys can see here. I've got Brian, the wind one. I've got Arnold, the fire one, who's my most recent one. And in storage, I have Fedora, the water one. And then just Diaz is missing. And he should be at the bottom. There he is. So as you guys can see, I have all 5 Death Knights. I am going to build all of them. Fedora last because... I don't know, he's, for me and what I'm doing, he's the least useful, but he is good. He's great for Trial of Ascension. If you're still trying to beat dragons or giants, you can use him because he's got element neutral and element advantage. But I am so excited to have all 5 of those guys. But that's...
Hashtag humble brag.
It was. Like, I was trying to brag, but not brag, but it's the way she goes. So...
Hey, you play a ton of this game. You deserve to have all the things you want.
Man, I was just looking over, and I was looking at the old videos I had. I haven't got a natural 5-star in this game for almost a year now. When New Year's hit,
Wow, really?
and I was talking to the guild, I thought for sure. I was like, I haven't got a nat 5 all of 2015. And then I went back and looked at the videos, and it's one of our first uploads, actually, is when I got my first nat 5 Rakan. And then I got the other 2.
I loved watching that video. You get so excited.
I freaked out a little bit.
Hey, you know what? You should have. It was the first.
I was so excited.
You took your 5-star virginity.
It did. And actually to this day, my avatar in this game is kind of influenced by him. So I was so excited to get him. Then I got Annabelle and Tiana right after. What's that?
Who drew that avatar?
And guess who drew my avatar? Poseidon and Conrad himself. And I appreciate it very much. I do love that avatar. I'm
going to try to make it better soon too.
Oh yeah?
I think I can make it better. Well, I've got better with my tablet.
Cool.
So I'm going to try, buddy. Let's see. I hope I
can. I wouldn't worry. I love it the way it is, but hey, So anyways, guys, thanks very much for the views.
Maybe I'll awaken it.
I thought it was awakened. Oh man. Well, to be fair, Rakan Awakened and Rakan Not Awakened look very similar, except for the glowing eyes on the fire eyes on the Awakened version.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to do that, but maybe by
they
the
bleed energy. I don't know how you would draw bleeding energy, but
I tried to do a smoke effect with like red, but it didn't work.
Oh, well,
but
whatever.
I'll try.
Anyways, guys, thanks very much for the view. If you have any comments or questions about any of the Death Knights, please feel free to post them. I have a pretty good grasp on them. I'll have an even better grasp on them once I get them built, and I'll have some scale-ups with all the Death Knights that I was able to farm this weekend. And then I'm going to get back to 6-starring some more monsters. Probably Tessarian's going to be next, and he's the fire Ifrit. I might do a spotlight on some of the Ifrits now because I have 3 of them. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun jazz. Really appreciate the view again. I know I said it, but I really do. And we will see you next time. And thank you very much to Poseidon/Conrad for joining us for this video.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's good to get on this side of the channel where everybody loves what you do.
Yeah, you. Okay. All right, guys. If you haven't seen Conrad's Poseidon's NHL series 1, 2, and 3 with our newest member Dongvers, check that out. I'll put an annotation here for that. And until next time, shields up, maces out.